What's up, what's up, what's up, best friends? Welcome back to the Start of Life, where I'll give you the 411 on how to solve these data structure and algorithm questions that we all struggle with, myself included. And this is how I try and figure it out by recording what my process is so that I don't have to depend on Stack Overflow and Google in order to refresh my memory as to how to solve some of these problems. So basically creating this archive of answers to common type of algorithms and so that I can actually have something to go back to. So hopefully it's of some help to you guys as well. Anyways, let's get started here. I'm just going to have this open so I can see myself. Yes, she does. So today I'm going to be, I did this HackerRank, which y'all, if you're not on HackerRank, I would implore you to get on it. They have a lot of like coding challenges for you to complete. And excuse the fact that my brother is watching Punisher in the background. That's how it be. Okay. So I'm always here to entertain you. You're gonna learn, but you're gonna be entertained at the same time, right? So this is this problem from HackerRank is compare the triplets. Again, we're starting off easy because that's where you're supposed to start in the beginning, right? So I'm trying to refresh my memory, and everything's gonna get harder the more videos I make. Now this one is a comparison algorithm. And let me explain the setup for you, but you guys can probably look it up if you go to HackerRank, compare the triplets problem. What you have is two arrays. And the use case for this is like you have Alice and Bob, and they're being rated. So they come with like ratings, and these ratings are the values of the indices, their index in their array. So Alice's array, Bob's array. And then there's three indexes, so therefore three values. Now, so value for Alice array at position 0, index 0, we're comparing that to Bob's array and value at index 0. So A0 and B0 are being compared, a la comparison. And we're going throughout both of those arrays to do that. So Alice's array and Bob's array. And that's basically it. And so what we're trying to do is find out if we're trying to reward Alice or reward Bob based on what their values are at each index. So if at index 0, Alice's value is greater than Bob's value, then Alice is awarded 1 point. And vice versa, if Bob's value is at index 0, let's say, is higher than Alice's value at index 0, then Bob gets the point. And then if they're both equal at those indexes, then they get nobody gets points. It's just a big old goose egg. So that's how the points are earned. And then the case use, I was thinking about it. I mean, they were talking about points being rewarded. I was thinking about it in the sense of like even just games, or for my example, because I'm working on a survey form on CodePen, and I have to make things fun and relevant to me. So I did a husband survey, and so it's the survey exercise for free code camp. And so instead of just doing like a regular survey, I decided to do like a husband survey because I thought that would be fun. I'm getting up in that age. So yeah, this is helping me complete my projects, guy, and that's how I keep myself entertained. And so part of the a survey, I was thinking about this case use of this algorithm in order to give like certain responses, certain points. And although like, so basically the husband survey, they have a response, but then I could hard code my own responses to those questions that I would include in the survey. And then based on like, that's how the comparison would work. Yeah, if that makes sense. So I haven't actually gone to the survey. I wanted to complete this problem. So I finally got it right on HackerRank, but that's how I'm going to implement what I just learned into my actual project. Ain't that cool? So yeah. I need to be able to see the timer here. Okay, so we have that set up, right? And then the output has to be in the form of an array. So Alice is accumulating points and Bob's accumulating points. And in the end, what we want that function to output is an array displaying Alice's score in position index 0 and Bob's score at index 1. Okay? And the second position, which is index 1. And here is the solution, bros. But actually, I'm going to go to my REPL where I have it set up because I'll be better positioned to explain it here. Oh, okay. So here it is. So we got a variable A for Alice and a variable B for Bob, both of which are arrays. And so this function, compare triplets, takes these two variables, which are arrays, and this is what happens. So we're going to have a final score variable, and it's an array. Like we said, the final answer has to be an array, but it's empty right now. And then the score, Alice's score and Bob's score are going to start at 0. So this is kind of similar to how we started off with the last video I had where we had the sum. And so everything started off at 0 in terms of the sum. So the sum is 0, and then we're going to accumulate and add points there. So we have a for loop, that nifty old for loop. And so we're going to actually do 2 for loops. So we're going to loop through simultaneously. We're going to loop through the A array, Alice's array, and we're going to loop through Bob's array. And so this is just saying that Alice's array and Bob's array. And if you jump down to the if statement, it's like if A at this index is greater than B at that very same index, then we're going to give A score, Allison's score, a point. Else, if we're going to, if Alice's index is less than Bob's at that very index, then we're going to give Bob the score. And then else, I actually don't probably need that last else statement, but I just did it just to do it because, I want to be thorough. It may not be clean. It may be long because people want one-liners, but that's just the way it is. So let's go. Anyways, with all that being said and done, then we get down here where we're going to make a final score equal to an array that takes on this, that puts the A score in position 1 or index 0 and B score at position 2 or index 1, and then return final score, and that will give us an array. Or, and I put another option here, we could say final score is put at index 0, A score, and final score is at index 1. There's like 2 ways, and it'll still return the same thing. And that's it. And then you get the right answer, and it's great, and you're good. And that's how I got my answer. Now, I'm, of course, going to include this REPL link into the description bar down below so you can check it out. But that's how I solved this problem. And yeah, that's basically it. I will say this. When I was trying to do it in HackerRank, it said, it kept saying that I had an error, and it kept saying like I need to declare the variable. But I'm so used to when I do my for loops, like within the parameters, when I'm doing this, like this working, but apparently you got to have that bar in there. So to actually declare the I variable. So there you go. But in the REPL, it's unnecessary. So, but that's basically how I got the answer. And again, just keep note that you can actually answer it 2 of 1 ways. This or what I have here in the backslash in comments is another way of answering it, but they're basically the same answer. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you like this video or if you have some other suggestions of ways to make this cleaner. Thank you. Until next time, this has been The Startup Life.